Welcome along to the most comprehensive driver lesson you will find anywhere on the internet. Today I'm going to discuss how you can become a great driver of the golf ball overnight. You're going to learn about angle of attack, club path, and the bend in the sky. 3 ingredients that will deliver accuracy and consistency to your golf, finding the fairway 9 times out of 10, absolutely guaranteed. Let's get into it. First up, let's talk about the tee height. The tee height has been something that golfers over the years have really lent on to either hit up on the ball or hit down on the ball. I've got myself a ball teed up high here, and I've got a ball teed down low. And what I'm going to do here is hopefully in a valiant attempt to show you that a low tee height can offer up an angle of attack up. So we'll go with the low ball first. So there's my angle of attack hitting up and a cheeky little draw. And I'm now going to create a high tee height that now I can hit down on. So tee height really has no effect on whether you're going to hit up or down. That is top of the pile. Because when you gather that tee height does not affect whether you hit up or down or not, you really start to get into the real weeds of how we release this golf club. And that release is ultimately the ingredient that is going to allow you to have some lovely lag and load in your downswing and give you the energy that you need to feel down through strike. Now, having a tee height that gives you the opportunity to find the center of the face, as far as I'm concerned, is the only reason why you would tee the ball high or tee the ball low. If you recognize the fact that we have got this golf swing perched above the ground, the higher the tee is, the more you have got to manage the sag of that golf club into the floor. Now, depending on whether the club's approaching from the inside or the outside will have an impact on whether you can control that sag. But ultimately, it's how your grip through strike keeps the club head up from sagging too much and hitting the floor. So if you've got a ball teed up nice and high, what you've got the opportunity of doing is using your grip to unload the golf club on a consistent height. So I've got my left thumb on the top of the golf club, and I've got my right hand just below the rubber end, and I'm now going to move the club around. And when I do this, what you start to feel is how much pressure that left thumb feels. That sensation all of a sudden makes my right side feel much higher. When my right side feels much higher, it all of a sudden gives me a chance to get the face squarer. Where you've tried to hit in and under, you can see how it really offers the club face out to the right and causes some real issues. So having this ball teed up high gives us that opportunity to use the pad of the left hand to unload the golf club. So there is your release pattern that a high tee offers. I just allowed myself to do that when the ball was teed low. When the ball is teed high, historically, golfers have seen it as hitting up on the ball, which really only ends in one way, which is wanging it out to the right and hitting it into the next county. It's not really a nice sensation. Therefore, when I get the ball teed up this time and I accept the fact that when the club swings and I strike it past the low point of the circle, now all of a sudden I can get an up strike. By using this drill with the thumb on the butt of the golf club, and I start to swing the right side around. And I tell you, when you do this drill, you will feel some things in your golf swing you've never felt before. You'll feel how the right side of the golf swing starts to get involved. You'll start to feel how your left leg can post up, and you can start to feel some real speed in the golf swing. This left leg, this left hip, is a real catalyst for accelerating the right side. So with the ball being further forwards, now I can get the golf club to feel like it unloads. I've got the grip pressure down with the left hand. I've got my right side accelerating. Now it feels like I can create angle of attack up by meeting the ball in the later part of the arc. That now points the face to the left. It now gives me the opportunity to have a draw. So with that in mind, I'm now going to feel how the bottom of my swing has been lifted up off of the floor. I'm going to allow the golf club to unload, and I'm going to feel like my right side is way more involved, which this grip drill gives me. And it makes me feel that the more that right side's involved, the more the club can unload and line the face up. So let's give it a go. Ball further forwards. There's the right side being involved. And now, with a bit of luck, we'll start to see an upstrike and a saucy little draw down the fairway. The right side is a real sensation that gives you the feeling that you can get some punch into the golf shot. And who doesn't like a little bit of punch into the golf shot? I'm going to use my devilish pink tee now because I think the pink tee has become the golfer's handbag that we all like to see down at the local nightclub. So the pink tee gives us the opportunity to have a consistent height, and I can't implore that enough for you to create a consistent tee height that gives you the chance to control the bottom of your swing. Now, if you're wanting to hit draw in your truest form, the more you hit up, the more the ball is going to want to try and bend to the left. So the more I make that angle of attack up, the later I'm going to start to meet it in the circle here. This means that I would then want to line myself up down the right for no other reason that I'm going to meet it in this part of the circle, which will now start to give me the opportunity to hit a draw because I'm hitting late in the circle, and there she is. 5 degrees up now, a little bit more close face to path, and I aimed it down the right. So, understanding that when we swing the club head, because the left thumb is offering up that swing point, I can get the angle of attack in a place that will allow the club face to be closed to the path. I hear you say, but Stuart, I don't want to hit a draw, I want to hit a fade. Well, in the truest form, I would encourage you to make it super simple on yourself. And it might make your fade arguably be every bit as powerful as your draw. To hit the fade, pop the ball in your usual ball position, off your left heel. That will do. Grip the club a little lighter. If you grip the club a little lighter, you'll be able to accelerate the grip a touch more. And what that'll do is take away a little bit of your angle of attack. I'm talking about a degree or so. If you keep accelerating the grip and you allow the head to low, what you'll end up doing is reducing the angle of attack, peeling it down the left, and now you've got a fade. Now, like all things, traveling at high speed, your ability to control that moment is up to you to practice. So I've just really lent on that lighter grip. I've pulled it even harder, and there is the fade. Now I'm going to pull it a little less hard, and I'm going to allow myself to now hit slightly less of a fade, which now sees that back into the middle of the fairway. So that fade feel is very much a pull sensation rather than the draw sensation is a bit more of a swing. Now there are other ways to do it, but in the grand scheme of things, if you're a golfer out there that is using my content to help you find the fairways off the tee, that is the easiest way to go. If you want to get a little bit deeper into that, you maybe want to hit me up on Skillist and get yourself an individual lesson. But this is the easiest way to feel like you can control the shape of the ball in the sky. I hear you say, Stuart, I want to hit it straight. Well, let me tell you, hitting it straight is the hardest job in the books, because ultimately you've got to get that swing circle to line itself up. And I don't know what about you, but hitting it dead straight is really quite tricky. But it can be done. Now, the driver is a tool that will either be your friend or be your biggest obstacle. Now, if it's an obstacle, here's the way you want to analyze getting your driver back into the fairway. Number one, work out where you're striking it out of the face. Is it toe or is it heel? If it's toe, you've got a face close to path, and yet you could be delivering a fade bias swing, which that last shot was. If you're hitting it out the toe, it will reduce your spin rate and it might give you the biggest bang for your buck. If you're a heel striker, you could be offsetting a hook swing. Hitting it out the heel will make the ball bend left to right and have a little bit more spin. This driver is the only golf club in the bag that has such a bias on where you strike it out the face. If you are not on point with that, you are really going to miss a beat. So number one is really, really get yourself dialed in to where you consistently contact it on the face. Number two, control your face to path. Control your face to path by the release of the golf club. Are you feeling like your grip is light and you're pulling it hard? To feel like that unload arrives late, that will hit you your fade. Or are you feeling like the unload is occurring, which will allow you to hit more of a draw? Again, we are trying to get you back on the fairway. This is a hard and fast rule for anyone, no matter what type of golf swing you are applying. If you want to dive a little bit deeper, search out my content and you will really start to tap into how we use the levers to make this driver sing even more. But hopefully this has given you an insight into how to use your driver for the better to find more fairways. It's a cracking tool, but honestly, it is not an exact science with the driver, and we get hung up on making perfect swings with the driver. And I think that if you're a good iron player, letting it all hang out a little bit more with your driver might just go a long way to improving. Are you tired of paying too much for your premium leather golf gloves? Head over to gxgolfgloves.com. These are gloves tried and trusted by elite amateurs and tour players alike. Enter my code GOODCOACHING to receive 10% off your next order. Go try them out. You won't be disappointed. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully that's given you some insights into how to hit more fairways. If it's offered us something up, do consider subscribing while you're here. And that, my friends, is good coaching.